So you've just found out that somebody you know has been diagnosed with breast cancer and you want to be supportive. Well, in order to be supportive, there's a few things you should avoid saying. Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and here's some tips on things you shouldn't say in order to be a supportive friend. If you know somebody has been diagnosed with breast cancer, you don't want to say, "Hey, at least you have the good kind of cancer." Nope, there's no good kind of cancer. Cancer sucks, and it's a really scary diagnosis. And even though breast cancer has a really good survival rate, especially if you're diagnosed early, there's still a lot of treatment and fear, and sometimes there's surgery involved. There's no good kind of cancer. You also don't want to say, "Hey, you're getting a free boob job." Nope, there's no free boob job. Let me tell you what the cost of a boob job is after you've had a mastectomy surgery. The cost is the amputation of some of your body parts. The cost is never having the same body image again. The cost is fear and treatment and sickness and never knowing what the future holds. So there's no free boob job. There's a big price to pay. You also instinctually might want to make the person feel better and wipe away all their fears. That's what we want to do for all of our friends. So it's really common for a person to say, "Hey, don't worry about it. You're going to get through this, no problem." And you're really kind of dismissing all of their treatments and fears and everything they're going through. So that person doesn't feel like they can actually tell you how they're doing because you've just swept it all under the carpet. You also don't want to list all the people you know who have died from breast cancer. That's just not helpful. There's probably a million other things that you shouldn't say, so feel free to comment down below because we all need to read that list. So how do you support somebody with breast cancer? Sometimes it's really scary and we don't know what to say. So we avoid calling that person or getting in contact. And while that may seem like a good way to avoid an awkward situation, it's really not helpful. So even calling the person and saying, "Hey, I heard about your diagnosis. I'm so sorry, and I don't know what to say." That opens up the conversation. And, if you want to go further with that conversation, you can ask, "What does your treatment look like? Are you joining any support groups?" These simple questions. And all you have to do then is sit back and listen. And that is such a great thing to do for a friend, is just listen. And if you're hearing something that makes you uncomfortable, like how the treatment's going, if you're in person, try not to let it show on your face. Just try to have a neutral expression or, just, yeah. And don't change the subject. Let that person talk. That is such a helpful thing to do. Other ways to be helpful, well, you can say, "Hey, I have 2 hours free on Saturday. Why don't I watch your kids and you can take a nap?" Or you and your husband can take a nap, or your partner. Or, "I'm on my way to the grocery store. Why don't I pick up some milk and eggs and whatever else you need?" Those are really helpful things. Because if we ask somebody, "Hey, is there anything I can do?" they're going to say no. They don't want to put you out and inconvenience you. So if you're proactive and maybe you just bring over dinner one day. If they have a family, you can bring dinner for the family and then leave. Don't stay for dinner. Just let them have it. If they've already eaten for the day, great. They have it for tomorrow. If they live alone, you can just bring dinner over and maybe share dinner with them. Because it's these little things that make a huge, huge difference. I know when I was taking care of somebody who was going through a surgery, I was working and I was taking care of this person and there was a million things going on. And a friend of mine, she met for coffee with me And at the end of it, she said, "Oh, I've got dinner in the car for you and this person." And I literally started to cry. It's not that I couldn't make dinner or I didn't have time, but it was just such a kind gesture. And it was just one less thing I had to do that day. And I will never forget that. And so I always try to pass that on. If you have suggestions on great ways to help people or things not to say, please comment below. And in the meantime, like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.